Right. Can everyone see me okay, hear me okay? Perfect. Thank you. Well, thank you so much for joining. My name is Gladys. I'm your brand coach, your photographer. I'm a creative and I'm all about helping women really level up their brand when it comes to the visuals, when it comes to like your videos and when it even comes to your designs in terms of like, your Canva designs and all of that stuff. So that's what I specialize in. Anything branding related, photography related, I am your girl. And today I just really wanted to talk about the cost of not showing up. And I just want to take you back. I'm not currently 25, but I remember it was my 25th birthday. And I remember like it was yesterday because I'm one of those people, I say I used to be, I'm working my way back now, but I used to be the life of the party where every year I would celebrate my birthday. And this particular birthday, I wanted to do an old school 90s theme birthday. And it was so lit. I did it in my house. That was my mom's house at the time. And the house was packed. The house was packed. And when it comes to planning stuff, it will be like 3 to 6 months in advance. Make sure everyone is on board. My mum, she's a chef as well, so she will cook it down and all of that kind of stuff. And that was such a great time. If only I had an image to show you guys, but it was such a great time. And then next thing you know, life hit me hard, and it was. I've probably shared this with you. It was learning about my dad. I learned that he was critically ill. At that time, he was in a care home because he's quite old in his age. I learned that he was in a care home. I had learnt that he'd had previous strokes, but this time he had a stroke, but it was harder to for him to come back around. I also learnt that he had dementia, so the times that I did go and see him, he couldn't remember me, and that was really, really hard to deal with because, as a girl, as a daughter, you hope for your dad to embrace you despite whatever's happened, but you just hope for your dad to embrace you and just give you the love that you might not have had growing up or at certain points where I needed him the most. Um, and yeah, it was a shock to my system because I just felt like, wow, the little girl inside me felt duped. I felt like, God, like I don't ask for much. Why is this happening now? Why are you, why is my dad getting ill? Why can he not remember me? Why can't he, like, he could remember my mum, he could remember my brother, but for some reason he couldn't remember me. But I have to give grace because when you have dementia, it's not a personal thing, but at that time it felt like it was personal. It felt like it was personal and it was uncomfortable. And I felt really sad. I felt really, really sad, but I still persevered because you kind of like in that moment, you have to kind of push your feelings down and focus in the moment and just be present with what you do have. Um, I really felt lost after that. After doing that, I felt like, wow, where's my dad? Everyone else has a dad. What about me? Why have I been duped this much? And it really made me feel like hurt. It made me feel frustrated. It made me feel frustrated with my mum because I was thinking, why did it take you this long for you to bring me to my dad? Um, to for us to kind of rekindle some kind of relationship. Um, but then when after his passing, sorry, not even after his passing, when he had his stroke, his organs started to fail. It started with his kidney, then it led on to other parts of his body. So it was only gonna go one way. Like he had lived a long life, but it was his time to eventually go. So I was prepared for that, even though it was a short space of time. So it's just like, you come into something, you're like, oh my gosh, okay, cool. You have this great thing. You get to see your dad and like connect, but then it's not the expectations that you had. And then he did pass. Eventually they had to just stop all the support system, like in the hospital, the life support and all of that kind of stuff because his organs were going out literally one by one. When he did pass, I started to push people away. I remember like my church, my pastor, they was like, oh, we'll come over, but I'm that type of person, the strong woman that no, I'm good. It's okay. I don't need the support. Everyone get back. Don't come to me. And probably that was shame. That was probably shame that I was dealing with because I was thinking, oh, I don't have a dad. I'm not good enough. So everyone like stay away from me. And I didn't they actually didn't come back around, but I was going to church, so there was still support, but not in the way that I needed. And I just remember the nights, not even trying to get emotional now, but I just remember the nights where, I'll be crying, crying, crying. And as the eldest born in my household, there was not that person to kind of comfort. And how my mum moves, even though she cried at the funeral, but she's bulletproof. So she's just like, what? That's happened. Even though I know she carries like maybe a deep level of hurt, but she kept on going on as she goes on. But she's another strong, strong woman. She's a bus driver, and you can only imagine she's what, 50 plus. I can't remember her age right now, but she's 50 plus, still driving the bus full time, and she's not stopping or trying to slow down. And I just want to touch on, I in those moments of crying, I felt, less than, I felt unworthy, I felt invincible. And that really cost me quite a bit. And this is what we're kind of gonna dive in on, which is the cost of not showing up. I lost momentum in myself. I was like promoted like at work at the time, because I was a manager at Monsoon, one of the fashion stylists and all of that stuff. And I just felt myself like shutting down. I missed on opportunities. I was pushing away love and support. I was living in survival mode. I did not look like myself. Someone that loved fashion is no longer showing up, is no longer the life of the party, is no longer connecting or communicating or reaching out. I shut down and I was living in survival mode, doing the bare minimal. And, don't get me wrong, I did have, survival thought, not survival, thoughts of like ending my life, but thank God I didn't get to that stage. But I do remember the moments where I would walk across the bridge and my mind would just go into, oh, what if I, jump over? But glory to God, that wasn't the case. Like my mind, God always spoke to me and saying, no, girl, you got this. Hang on in there. Hang on in there. And also, I let guilt and shame dictate my decisions. And guilt and shame are the aunties and the uncles that you need to run from. If anyone's dealing with guilt and shame, run. Not even run. Deal with them and run and release it, because that was definitely dictating my life. Because I didn't have a dad, I felt like I didn't have a covering. Um, and my mum, yeah, she's done the best that she could, but there were certain parts of my life where I felt they were uncovered. Also, the cost of not showing up, you also start shrinking yourself. You start shrinking yourself and you start playing small. You start playing small and you don't take up space. Like I used to love taking up space. I remember like back when I was a manager, I was probably like the only black person. I laugh now, but I was probably the only black person when it came to like head office meetings and stuff like that. When we had particular event days, and I would look around, I'd be like, where is everyone? Like, so I remember the times where I would take up space regardless of what's happening around me. But I really, really just, shrank myself. And when you shrink yourself, you can't live in fulfillment. It's not going to happen. You can't live in your purpose. You can't live in your power. You can't live in who God has called you to be. And another thing as well, losing self-trust. I lost self-trust because I wasn't showing up. When you don't show up, you lose trust. You lose trust in yourself. You lose trust in God, and you almost feel disconnected from Him because you're not operating in your power, in your purpose, or in your power. And I thought for me, my go-to thing is shutting down. So if you catch me shutting down, just reach out and say, Gladys, where you been? Where you hiding? But I'm working through that. God has definitely delivered me a lot from that. So I don't really shut down. I would normally now I'm learning to speak up, reach out, or just say. And I remember, like I would do a disappearing act, and certain friends would reach out. A particular friend, she would always clock that when I'm starting to shut down. And it wasn't until I started this was in 2020 now, where I said, you know what, that's when what was it called? The lockdown came about, like with COVID and stuff. For some reason in February, the therapy, because what was it, the year before, I felt, a bit suicidal and depressed and stuff like that. And I was on the waiting list. And it wasn't until 2020 that they said, okay, we're gonna help you. So I finally met with someone. I know that's a long space of time, but finally met with my therapist, and that was through Mind, shout out Mind. But I met with her, and at first, the first two meetings were very me asking her questions because, again, I love asking questions, getting people to open up. That's one of my strengths. But she knew, she knew the tactics I was trying to play because I wasn't trying to open up. So she finally got me to a point where I opened up and I cried. I cried like as if I lost someone, like as if someone died, because I was holding on to so many archives of my past, holding on to so many archives of my story, holding on to so many archives of the brokenness of everything that's happened to me or the people that I'm protecting. I think that was a huge thing. The people that I'm protecting, and some of the people that I'm protecting is people in my family. So I've really had to release that out, and thankfully I was surrounded by that friend, that very good friend, and she embraced me, and I just remember just crying, crying out. You know, when you can't breathe, your nose is stuffed, you are struggling to breathe, you can't catch the air. But it was a very hard thing to do, but it felt so releasing. I felt like, wow, I can be free again and I can be open again. Uh, oh, someone's let me just
Thank you. Have a good day.
there we go. And I just want to step and share with you the moment that I started to let go of guilt and let go of shame, let go of the old stories. I had to let it go because it was keeping me stuck. It was keeping me in bondage. It was keeping me in lack, you know? And the moment I started showing up, I started to look after myself. I started to dress up. I remember I did a big batch of Pretty Little Thing at the time, of shopping because I said, yes, we're going to look after ourselves, even though it was lockdown, because after February, that's when lockdown happened. And yes, we lost some people and whatnot, but I was grateful for that year because it just reconnected me back to me. It just gave me time to not be in work mode, not be in eldest sibling mode, but just to be Gladys. And when you start pouring back into yourself, you attract the right things because this wasn't part of my story that I was going to share today. However, I was reconnected with a certain person. God basically realigned us two together, and I attracted love. I attracted love back into my life, and I'm grateful for that. And when you start looking after yourself, when you start, showing up, when you start feeling back in your body, love will come and find its way. So I just want to just give a shout out to the single ladies. Love on yourself. Love will come and find you. Okay. And I'm just, what was I? Where was I? Yes, yes, yes. I'm just seeing the chats go off. And yeah, so the moment I started to let go, I let go of all the stories. I started showing up, having fun. I found purpose because that year I invested in another coach as well. I found purpose. I found my voice. I found my power, and I honored God. I started building my trust back with God, and I started to do the healing work. I started to really dive in, and there was a book called Homecoming. I've shared this a few times, but Homecoming. If you are struggling with yourself and just certain things that you need to let go, Homecoming is the book for you. It will break the shackles of any bondage, any stories, whatever. It really allows you to tap back into you and to release any stories. So Homecoming, that's what the book is for. And the quote from her book was, "Your life is a fight, fight for who you are becoming." And I just want to leave another quote with you, which is, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We are ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. You playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not it is not just in some of us, it is in every single person. And as we let our light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our present automatically liberates others. And that was by Marion Wilson, A Return to Love. And I've just share that with you to return back to love because that's our divine order. And just a Bible verse to let your light shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. And that is from Matthew 5:16. Share your light. We are called to be bold. We have a big Father. We have a big God that takes care of all of our needs. He created us to be in this world. Us playing small isn't serving no one. It's not serving him. It's not gonna run. It's not, it's no. Serve big and God will reward you. And I just want to share with the cost of showing up, it will allow you to build your confidence. It will allow you to have clarity. It will enable you to own your power, to own your life, to own your business. It will create impact and real influence, and it will magnetize opportunities. And I'm an advocate for this. It will share your gifts, share your light. Opportunities will start coming left, right, center, and you'll be thinking, "Whoa, what's happening? What's happening?" But that's how God moves, and embrace it because sometimes it can feel scary and it can feel like nerve-wracking because it's just like, wait, hold on, all these things that are coming out. But do you know what that is? Your past self that is thinking, I'm not good enough or worthy of these things. So put that aside and really just embrace the opportunities that do come your way because they are going to come. Um, Also, you experience more freedom. I've never felt this free in my life. I probably felt free before, but I was probably hiding it. I was probably masking it pre-baby. But now I feel free because I can share my not just my gifts, but also my story. And also building connections and community is so, so key. Like I pray for this rebuild community. I didn't know it was a rebuild community that will find me, but I'm grateful for this community because God knows where I would be right now because I knew when I started this business, I said, God, please, I don't want to do this by myself. I don't want to do this alone. I need a community. Please and thank you. Send it. And God, he delivered. He delivered. So I just want to share with you, if you are not part of a community, the rebuild community is for you. The Rebuild community is a community of sisters, a community of powerhouses, creators, bosses, and we are all on a journey of sharing our light, sharing our power, sharing our gifts. And the fact that, when you see another sister doing her, like we all support each other. And where do you see that? Where do you see that? So join the community. Let me just share the link in case if you are interested. Where are we? And if you are thinking about costs, don't think about the cost. Think about the investment. Think about the growth. Think about the impact, the change, the person that you are becoming. Because trust me, I was hiding like, well, no, not last year, but probably the year before. I was hiding. And then now here we are. Here we are. I'm speaking, sharing light. And yes, and I just want to also share with you as well. I've got something powerful that is coming up. I'm gonna be doing a mini brand shoot day. It will probably be across 2 days. So if you are interested and you want to get your photography, like your branding up, this is gonna be for you. This is gonna be for you. So share with someone. If you are interested, I'll just share the link as well. Where are we? There we go. I'll just share that. So just register your interest. That is my website. So it will take you to down to the bottom. If you register and just drop in your email, then I can contact you. And if you're like, girl, I want to see some images, that's my portfolio. So feel free to check that out as well. But if you are interested and you want to update your brand, you want to be a light and share your gift and you want to, just get a mini upgrade, okay? Start somewhere. This is for you. This is for you to really, really represent the powerhouse that you are. And yeah, that is the end. And I just want to thank you for tuning in. And I just pray that you have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. And be bold, be seen, and be you. Take care, guys. And thank you.